poses to increase your energy immediately. And when I say immediately, I mean immediately. You're going to feel the effects right away. So let's get right into it. Like the way I normally do it, I'll go right through the exercise so you can follow along with me, and then stick around though, because I'm going to talk about a few do's and don'ts and more benefits about the postures, how they work symbiotically together to boost your energy. So the whole flow takes under 5 minutes. So we're going to start with what's called the star pose. Utthita Tadasana is also one of the Sanskrit names for this pose. 5-pointed star, very easy pose. So like always, get grounded first. So by getting grounded, you just sink your energy into your feet, all right? And just feel the weight of yourself on the floor, being supported by the earth ultimately. Take a couple of deep breaths in, out slowly, again in, and out. Just do that 2 times. Feel yourself connected to yourself. So for the star pose, you just widen your stance a little bit. We're stretching in 5 directions at the same time. So we'll do it 3 times, all right? You inhale, stretch your arms out, stretch your legs into the ground, and stretch your head up. That's very important. Hold and relax. Okay, one more time. You're going to inhale, stretch your arms out, stretch your feet into the ground, extend your neck, lifting your head upwards. Okay, you're tonifying your entire nervous system here. And relax. One more time. Inhale. See how my body gets big? You're making yourself big. Feet into the ground, head up, and then bringing it all in. That's the first pose. Honestly, just by doing that pose, you're going to feel a difference. And like I said, stick around. I'm going to explain everything in the second part of the video. Next pose we do. Okay, very easy pose. It's called Ustrasana, the Camel Pose. So what you're going to do, after you do the star pose, you're going to just come down like this. This is also actually a yoga pose. It's called Vajrasana, but we're going to use this as a relaxation pose for 30 seconds. So you just relax in this pose for a second. This is very good for the spine. So is the star pose, actually. They're very good for spinal alignment, both of these poses. And you just relax in this pose. It's also a meditation pose. All right, so the camel pose. Now, sometimes people have difficulty going all the way back. So you just lift yourself up like this. If you can't get your hands to your feet, like I'm going to show in a minute, you just put your hands back here. Inhale, push your chest out, arch backwards. Hold for 3 breaths, and then come forward slowly and come back down into this Vajrasana posture. Okay, you only have to do that 1 time. You can do it 1 to 2 to 3 times if you like, but 1 time will be sufficient to boost your energy. Now, if you're doing the pose all the way, you're going to come up and you're going to inhale, bring your shoulders back, bring your chest out, reach back for your feet. Let your head hang down, and 3 breaths. And slowly come back in this posture. Okay, what that's doing is opening up your whole heart center. Relax for 10, 20, 30 seconds. I can already feel a difference, believe it or not. Okay, now, the third pose is called Salamba Sarvangasana, or the all-in pose, or often also called the shoulder stand. And, well, when I work with kids, we call it the candle pose, because you'll see what I mean. When your feet are up, they will twinkle their toes, move their toes around, and it looks like the candle flame. I mean, young kids, you know. This pose is also relatively easy pose. You're just going to sit with your legs like this. All right. And some people like to rock into it, but you can just roll right back and lift your body up. Now, if you can get your body like this, something like this, that's good. It's an inverted pose, and this will work. Like this will be a lot better. Point your toes to the ceiling. And again, 3 breaths. And then to come out, just bend your legs, support your back, and roll out. That's the entire sequence. You only have to do it one time. You'll notice a big difference in your energy right away. Not sure if I like this shirt or not, but it's another, the fashion part is for another part of the video. So listen, each pose has a lot of different benefits. Stick around, I'm going to go over the sequence again right now and talk a little bit more about the benefits and why they work together symbiotically to increase your energy. Okay, so I'm glad you stuck around because this is the important part of the video. We're going to go over the sequence again and we're going to discuss a little bit about why each posture works so well. In this video, I told you you're going to boost your energy quickly and immediately. Quickly meaning it's only going to take a few minutes, and immediately meaning the results, you're going to feel it right away. So, very important to ground your energy, to get centered in your body. This is the most important part of all these yoga exercises actually. So you're going to inhale, bring your shoulders up, lift your shoulders, exhale out slowly. Okay, try to feel your center line, feel the feet on the floor being supported by the earth. Second breath in, exhale out. You can do a few more if you'd like to. So the first posture, the star pose, is very effective when you stretch into the ground and stretch outwards and stretch up. What you're doing, and breathe in, you're basically unblocking your nerves, the communication system of your body. And that alone will give you energy, because when the nervous system is working well, energy starts flowing and everything else gets regulated. Very simple pose. It's also expanding your spinal column, which is letting the energy go up so that your nerves are not getting pressure on them. There's so many reasons why we get stresses in the day, and stresses is what blocks our energy. When the energy's flowing, you're not tired. Have you ever noticed when you're happy, you're not tired? Because the flow of energy is going really well. And that flow of energy on a physical level is the communication system of your body. It's your nerves. And you have, if I'm not mistaken, you have about 70 to 90,000 miles of nerves in your body. If you were to take all your nerves and stretch them all out, it would go around the world over 2 times. So that's absolutely incredible. So for sure there's going to be blockages. Every little tension that happens in the day creates a little blockage in the nerve system. And then it creates a collapse in the muscles, the skeletal structure, they start squeezing in on the nerves. So by doing this posture, the star pose, breathing in and stretching out, you're deblocking it everywhere. So that is why it starts to give you energy. Yoga is an incredibly precise science, and if you study what these poses can do and apply them correctly, they're life-changing. So the second pose, well, we go from the star, we go into this pose. I was saying Vajrasana. Just go sideways so you can see the hands have to be pointed down. Okay, because believe it or not, if your hands are pointed down or pointed upwards, it'll change the way you breathe. So in this particular posture, we want the hands down. And we're using this posture for relaxation, for a little relaxation break. So star pose, come down into this Vajrasana pose. Just sit here for a few seconds. 10 to 30 seconds is probably enough. But you can always do a little bit more if you want. Very good for the spine, also is very spine straightening, and also very good for the digestive system. And that's another area where we can lose energy, right? When we're not digesting well, it takes a lot of energy. So this posture works beautifully, symbiotically as a relaxation pose between the 3 main poses that we're doing. Now, this pose, another area where energy gets blocked is in the heart area, emotionally. When you have emotional tensions, it constricts the heart, constricts the ribs, nerves get constricted, but also the heart gets constricted. Okay, so this is very important. And another area is your breathing gets constricted. So we want to make sure we're taking in as much oxygen as possible and opening up our heart. And one of the best ways to do it is with this pose. Okay, the camel pose. I could never figure out why it's called the camel pose. Usually I can make a relationship with poses and the names, but the Ustrasana, I've never figured this one out. Maybe it'll come to me, or if somebody has an idea, let me know. This pose, you see when you bring your shoulders back and your chest plate out, if you do it like this, that's going to be very good. You're going to feel right away all of this part of your body is opening up, especially down the breastplate. If you can go all the way back, it's even better. When you go back into this pose, you only have to do it one time. Take 3 big breaths. All right, so you inhale, puff your chest out, reach your arms down, and 3 breaths. Slowly come back out of this posture and sit back down in Vajrasana. All right, so let's look at the last pose. Salambasarvangasana, or it's an inverted pose, also known as the shoulder stand. One amazing benefit about this pose is it stimulates the thyroid gland, which helps your immune system. We all know that you can get, and if your immune system is compromised, you're guaranteed you're going to be low on energy. So it's very important to have a healthy immune system. And actually this pose is also known as a cold buster. If you get a cold in the winter, you try this pose, but you have to do it for longer than we're doing it in here. And it can enhance your immune system to the point where you can actually blow the cold out of your system. I've done that many times actually. So there's so many benefits to this pose that we're doing a video specifically on this pose because there's just so much to talk about. But for today's purposes of getting energy and restoring your energy, we are just going to focus on 2 main aspects. One was the immune system and the other one is the cardiovascular system. This pose helps the cardiovascular system tremendously because it takes out the deoxygenated blood that gets stagnant and stored up in your muscles. It doesn't come out as quickly. It drains that blood down, all right, and it lets that blood get re-oxygenated before it's dispersed back into the body. And also it brings a lot of blood to the brain. Your brain uses over 20% of the oxygen you inhale. So when you bring more oxygen to your brain, you are awake. You are wide awake and very cognitively functional. Let's try it one more time. Once again, this is an easy pose to get into. You don't have to worry about getting all the way up because it's an inverted pose as long as you're halfway up. So you just come up like this. If you can get to here and support yourself, try to straighten your legs a bit, that's going to be really good. If you can get all the way up, or higher at least, point your toes up, keep your head straight. In other words, don't turn your neck. And then when you want to come out, you just support yourself, or you can come back to Halasana and then just slowly roll out, or support your back when you roll out. Always come out of these poses slowly. Take your time. All right, again, just sit for a couple of seconds, 20, 30 seconds before you get up, or go back to the Vajrasana pose, which we had like this, which is a wonderful pose to relax in for a few seconds. Take a deep breath. That's really important also. That allows the body's adaptive capabilities to take over, and you'll get the benefits will be enhanced from the pose. This takes about 5 minutes to do this sequence, and you'll get super energized from it. You'll enhance your immune system, cardiovascular system, more mental focus. The list goes on and on. So I really hope you liked it. Let me know in the comment box what you think, and we'll see you with the next yoga installation.